The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. Welcome to our 30-minute webinar series, and today's webinar is on building VCP through BNI Connect. And we've already had quite a few success stories of people passing worldwide referrals just by having their profile updated in BNI Connect. And what today's webinar is about is how do I update it, where do I update it, why do I update it, and all of the places that you're visible in BNI Connect and for people around the world, not just BNI members, by the way, but to the general public as well. Today's webinar is being recorded. It will be made available afterwards on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. If you have any questions, again, this is a live webinar right now, so if you have any questions as we're going along, do feel free to use the questions panel to raise your question. We are going to keep the content of this to 30 minutes today so that everybody can get on with their busy days, although if you have questions, I will leave time for questions at the end. And I will stay on this webinar until all of your questions are answered. So, with that being said, let's get started. I have a couple of stories to start us off with today. The first of which is, as promised, we do have a client that landed Microsoft via BNI Connect. And here's the story right here. If you get SuccessNet to your inbox, this came out a short time ago in SuccessNet, but here it is right now. And basically what it comes down to is this person avoided joining her BNI chapter that her friend had invited her to for a long time. She's out in the Washington area, and somebody was looking for someone to photograph a Microsoft event in New York City. And through BNI Connect, and we can see the highlighted portion here that you may or may not be able to read, but Microsoft needed a photographer to photograph a corporate event in New York. The member had seen my profile on BNI Connect, reviewed her work, including some photographs of a regional BNI event, and hired her for the job, referred her to that job. Directly through BNI Connect, this was made. Here's another story right here. If you go to SoCalBNI.com, the Success Corner, they have some stories about things that are going on in their region, but specifically here's one where a commercial agent had gone to the SoCal BNI website looking for a residential specialist in the Long Beach area. She commented to Barbara how she appreciated that her profile was so complete and did more research using other social media. Another gateway, and then just one quick third story here. Here's one where a member has created a global BNI network of florists simply by connecting to them through BNI Connect. So there's three stories of what you can do. First step is visibility, getting people to see you. Then it's about putting on a good face to the world. That's the credibility portion of it. Then we lead to profitability. So what do people see on BNI and BNI Connect when they find you? So let's take a look. Now, a couple of months ago, I had a referral for somebody in my chapter. I'm going to keep the name private right now and use a false name, but had a client walk into my office and I wanted to pass this referral to the member. And I wanted to do it using BNI Connect. So what did I do? I went to my regional website, which is BNIRI.com. I'm going to do this in Antarctica to keep it private, but I went to find a member and I put the member's name and I found him. Now, when I clicked on that person, basically this is what I got for a profile. There's no picture. There was no address in there because he had hidden his address. No social media links, no way to contact them via email, no picture, no logo, no graphic, no description of his business. Basically, I had wanted to take this page, print this page out on my computer and hand it over to my referral source so that they had a little bit more information than just a little business card. Now, what I ended up having to do is take out a little yellow sticky note and write the person's name down on a piece of paper and write down the person's phone number and pass that over to the referral. Not the best way to pass a referral. Would have loved to use BNI Connect to do that, but unfortunately couldn't. Now, let's take the opposite of that. I'm going to go to my regional website, which is BNIRI.com. I'm going to do a little find a member here. And by the way, this is what the public can do. The public is using the regional websites, people that know about BNI, people that trust BNI, former BNI members that no longer have connections to chapters. They still want to use BNI people to pass referrals to. How do they do it? They do it through this regional website. So let's go to Find a Member, and I'm going to find myself. Now, if I pull up my profile, this one's a lot different than the one for Bobby Jones up in Antarctica, who's never filled out his profile. Now, there is my picture, there's my logo, there's my company name, there's my address, there's my phone number, my mobile number, my website, all of my social media links, including Pinterest, was just added to BNI Connect a couple of months ago. It has a description of my business. It has my ideal referrals, my top product, problem solve, favorite BNI story, ideal referral partners. This is all connecting materials. When people read this stuff, they learn about you, they connect with you. Then they want to do business with you. Visibility plus credibility equals profitability. How do you get your profile to look like this? So we do have a question right away from Beatrice. She says, is BNI Connect global? Yes, it absolutely is. About 80 to 85% of the BNI world is on BNI Connect right now. Basically all of Europe, all of India. We have the United States. The regions that aren't on yet are using a different site, which is called BNI Web, and that would be Australia, New Zealand, and Canada are the three biggest ones that aren't on yet. But hopefully that answers your question then. So we actually have some people on the call today from India, and I noticed a couple of people from France as well today. So you only need one profile. Your one profile is the one that connects this external site as well as when people are finding you inside. So let's take a look at how we can do that. Now, the place to do that, you do need to log in to BNI Connect in order to update this stuff. All of the information that you're seeing here on the screen is pulled from the inside of BNI Connect. It's all pulled from that profile. So here is where you do that. Once you log into BNI Connect, what you need to do is to click on this My Account button in the upper right-hand corner. And this is where you have access to edit all of the information about you and your company. So I'm going to click on the My Account button. I'm just going to go through rather quickly what all of these pages are and some strategies for filling this information out. Now, before I do that, there are two places. So as I said, this is a global database. People can see it from the outside, which is on your regional website. Again, ours is bniri.com. So they can find me here, but people can also find you on the inside of BNI Connect. So the way to do that, if you want to see what that looks like, is if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's this profile button here. I'm going to right-click that and choose to open a new tab just so I don't lose my page here. But this is what you look like to the people on the inside of BNI Connect, so your connections that you make with people around the world. And you can see it's all the same information, plus a little bit more. On the inside, we have access to, again, your name, your business, your keywords, your contact information, social media links. Then we also have information to your bio. So your 60-second presentations, you can share 60-second presentations from people who may never, ever, ever visit your chapter and hear you speak it. They can actually read them online and you can share more about your business that way. Your gains profile, you can do a gains exchange with people without having to send the piece of paper. And again, your tops profile, which is the same one that shows up on the public website. We also have visibility to your connections, and this is where we can look at each other's connections and connect with each other's connections. Similar to LinkedIn, how you can look at people's second and third level connections. Well, in BNI, you can actually go infinitely looking at people's connections and connect with people through that interface. Testimonials. This is another great way that credibility is built with you, and these are visible to people that are viewing your profile on the inside of BNI Connect, so only to other BNI members. There is a photo sharing library, social media groups that we can share information through as well. So again, that's the inside profile. This is your outside profile, but it all pulls from the same place. And this same place, again, is the My Account button. So on the first page, we have just your basic information, name, display name, company name. For those of you that are here in the United States, what VAT reference number is value-added tax. It's kind of like a sales tax that gets collected usually in most European countries, we can safely ignore that particular field here, but for businesses in other countries, they may need to record this information in there. It has your industry and classification, as well as your chapter and your status in that chapter. Note, you can't change any of this information, but if any of it is incorrect, please do talk to your membership committee, your chapter director consultant, your executive director, and they can assist you with getting that changed or corrected. Now, the next two things are extremely important to fill out when it comes to building that visibility and credibility. The first one is the My Business description. Now, what is the My Business description? First of all, this is important because it shows up on the public website, which means Google is also reading this. This is what shows up in this bluish gray box on your public profile. So this is the first one that you want to spend some time filling out. Now, what this is really, I look at it as your elevator pitch. So if you were to meet somebody at a networking event, let's say it was a chamber event or a visitor that comes to your chapter, this would be that kind of 30 seconds sales pitch that you would give them about your business. So explaining what you do in a very short, concise manner that enables you to let them know what's going on in your business. And again, all of the information, by the way, updates automatically right away. So let's say that I was to I'm going to copy this, but then I'm going to overwrite it. So I'm just going to put a bunch of garbage in here, and I'm going to update this. Now, the very next person that goes to my profile, I'm just going to refresh this page. They will see what I just entered as opposed to what was there before. So you don't have to do anything to push this out or worry about, oh, well, is it going to update in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours tomorrow? Do I have to wait for the region to do something? No. You can make edits to this stuff right away, and it will be out there in its new wonderful format. But I'm going to put my old description back. The bottom here is the keywords. Now, here's the second most important thing that you can do on your profile, because this is how you are found in BNI. This is how you are found by people when they don't know what your name is. Extremely important to pick some good words here. Now, here's a caveat about this. We have been completely spoiled by Google. Bing, Yahoo, all of those search engines that spend billions and billions of dollars coming up with algorithms to try to find ways to find the things that you're looking for when you don't even know you're looking for them. This is a bit more of a database search as opposed to a Google search. Now, we are modifying that. We're coming up with a new search mechanism that's more Google friendly, but for now, you need to look at this as a one word per one result type of search. Now, let me give you an example. So one of my words in here is computer support. If I go back to the Rhode Island website and I go to find a member, if somebody's looking for me and they don't know my name, they're going to search by keyword. So if they search by keyword, let's say they put in computer and they hit enter, they're going to come up with 12 people in my region that have computer as a keyword on their profile. Now, our region has about 60 or so chapters, 2,000 or so members. I know for a fact that there is way more than 12 people involved in computers in our region. Now, just as an example, let's just use the drop-down profession computer instead. Now, if I use the profession computer, I get a list of 68. So that tells me that about 54 of those members have not taken the time to put the keywords into their profile. If you want to be found in BNI Connect, you need to fill out your keywords. If you're not sure what keywords to use, have a one-to-one. Sit down with one of your members. Sit down with the social media expert in your chapter or with the person that does search engine optimization in your chapter. Sit down with them and say, hey, listen, if you were looking for me online, what words would you use? And then make sure that you fill out all of the words. Now, here's something to keep in mind as well. Again, this is a simple search. So if somebody puts in computers, they're not going to find me because I only have computer in there. So I could potentially be missing out on some referrals because I don't have computers in there. Same thing, if you're an accountant, you want to have accountant as well as accounting in the keywords of your profile. And the same keywords, again, when you're searching for somebody on the inside of BNI Connect, we would do that using the magnifying glass. And this allows you, when you're searching on the regional site, this is only going to search the people in my region. So in Rhode Island and southeastern Mass, it filters it just to the people in that region. Same thing for Minnesota or Florida. You're only, from that public site, you're only finding the local people. Within BNI Connect, you're searching by country. So if I wanted to find other computer people in all of the United States, I could, again, put the keyword computer in here and do a search for members. And this would bring up anybody that has a keyword of computer, and then I could add them to my connections, maybe start a conversation with them, start an email, and get to know them a little better, and hopefully pass some referrals. Okay, going back to the profile. So that's the My Business and the keywords. So the first thing you should do, fill out those two pieces of information. That will get started with your visibility portion of it, getting found in BNI Connect. So the next tab over is the user profile folder. And this is where you would upload your image and your company logo. You can also, you may or may not know this, you can pick any username you want. You can change your username to your first name, just your last name, anything that you'd like, as long as it's unique in the system. You can also set your own password, your memorable question, your answer. BNI Connect is also translated into approximately 40 languages. If you're here in the United States, make sure you're using English US, or you will see your dates look funny. They'll actually be, instead of month, day, year, they'll be day, month, year. And same thing for the rest of the world. Make sure you're using your appropriate version of English or your own language if you'd like to. Notice there's about 12 Englishes. There's a couple of different Frenches. There's a number of different Spanishes. So if you'd like to upload your profile image, all you need to do is, if there's nothing here, you won't see a picture there obviously, but if there is something you'd like to change it, click on Change Profile Picture. And then you can click the Attach Image button. I'm going to go ahead and change my company logo. This will then bring up a search box, so you just go into your computer to find your profile picture or your logo. So let me see if I can find another logo here. And I'm just going to grab this BNI Connect logo for now, and then I'll put it back later. I can then crop my image if I'd like to change the dimensions of it, and click Save. Now the next people that go and view my profile, they will see that as my logo. And the same thing applies for your profile image if you'd like to change your personal picture. Now the next tab has all of your contact information. This top one is just a quick copy and paste that displays all of your information. You can put a bunch of stuff in here. You can put your phone number, direct number, home number, mobile number, pager, voicemail, toll-free, fax, carrier pigeon, smoke signal number, whatever numbers you'd like to put in here. Your email address. Now, it's important to make sure your email address is in here because this is how all of the communications happen to you in BNI Connect. So all of the automated notices. So if you sign up for an event in your region, that's where the reminders are going to go to. If your regional office is looking to communicate with you or your director consultant, this is the email address that they're going to use. When you're the upcoming speaker in your chapter and the system sends you an automatic reminder reminding you, hey, you're speaking in a couple of days, bring your door prize, this is the email that it's going to go to. So it is important to have the email address correct in there. Your website. A quick thing about the website, if for some reason it doesn't list the http:// in front of there, which it should insert automatically, do make sure that it's there. Now there's a whole bunch of different social networking links that you can add. So just pick the one that you'd like to add. Let's say that I was going to put an eAcademy in there. I click the Add button, and then you just need to copy and paste or type in the link. So I don't have an eAcademy account, but if I did, I'm sure it would probably be academy.com, /TRC Jeremy, like the rest of them. And then that would show up on your profile and show everybody your social media links that they can connect with you that way as well. Now, the next two things are your two addresses. Now, we do have a couple of notes in red here for you, just to remind you. This address is the address that will appear on the regional website. So it will appear to people in public. Let me go back and show you what that's all about. And let me go back to my profile. So again, this is the address that will appear. Now, some people may be working from a home office. If you have a home office and you don't want your home address appearing here, what we recommend doing is leave the billing address as your real address. This way, again, the office can get in touch with you. But then change this address so that it's something like by appointment only, or a P.O. box. And that way, I'm going to update this and go back to the regional website. Let me go ahead and actually update it this time. And what will appear on the public website is, instead of your address, it'll appear by appointment only. The issue is there is a setting, and I'll show you this. It's on the next page for the account settings that says, show my contact details on the BNI website. Now, if we uncheck this, unfortunately, it also gets rid of all of this other information as well. So if you'd like to still have your phone number and other contact information up there, but just not display your home address, please go ahead and change this first address to something like by appointment only. All right, so I'm going to skip this next tab. I'm going to come back to this tab in just a minute and go straight over to the next tab, which is the Bio tab. Now, the Bio tab is, this is where it's going to take you a few minutes to finish filling out your profile. But these are all the things that really help to build your credibility in BNI. The first section here is the Bio. And the Bio is the same bio that we learn about in the Member Success Program. This is the bio that your secretary-treasurer might use before you do your 10-minute presentation. You know how you're always scrambling the day that you have your 10-minute presentation, your keynote presentation at your chapter, and that morning you're like, oh my goodness, I need to fill out this form. Boom, 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 and you fill it out at the last minute, or maybe you don't, and your secretary-treasurer doesn't introduce you, and you just start going right into your presentation. This is a credibility builder. Fill it out ahead of time. Kind of set it and forget it, go back and update it once in a while. But again, same exact form that you had in the MSP, Member Success Program. Years in business, previous jobs, spouse, children, pets, hobbies, city of residence, years, burning desire, something no one knows about you, and your key to success. Hint, some of these take a little while to fill out. After you're done filling out a section, or even filling out one thing that might be a little bit longer to type out, scroll down to the bottom, hit the update button. You'll see saved flash on the screen. That means it was saved. Go back up and fill out the rest. Just like if you were working on a long Word document, you want to save it once in a while so that if your connection gets lost or anything else, you won't lose what you were working on. Okay, so the second thing on the page is 2 commercials. And there's a couple of reasons for the commercials. Again, people can see that on your profile. On the inside of BNI Connect as a BNI member, if I look up your profile, I can read your commercials. People on the public website cannot. Only people on the inside of BNI Connect can see that. There's another reason for this, by the way, besides just the credibility portion. Has anybody ever had to miss a chapter meeting? Probably not in this crowd, but I've heard that some people occasionally have to miss a chapter meeting. Now, that being said, once in a while, you're at a place where you say the night before your meeting, oh my goodness, I forgot to find a sub, and at the last minute you call up and you say, you get a friend, a neighbor, a business associate, somebody to substitute for you. However, you're nowhere near a computer. So getting this person a 60-second commercial may not be possible. You could always then ask one of your associates in your chapter, hey, by the way, I have a sub coming tomorrow. I'm not going to make it. Do me a favor, print out one of my commercials. They can look up your profile. They can print out one of your commercials and help your sub not stumble through 60 seconds of damaging your credibility instead of enhancing it. So hopefully that helps. So the next thing is the gains profile, and again, this goes back to our member success program. We should be exchanging our gains information before every one-to-one. Well, again, now rather than filling it out before every single one-to-one or not knowing where it is or losing it or filing it somewhere on your computer and forgetting, you can keep it right in BNI Connect, and people have access to this also from your chapter. They can get this through a report. Goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. Again, credibility builder. And finally, the TOPS profile. Now, if I was filling this out for the first time, seems like it might be an overwhelming task. Do the TOPS first. And the reason I say that is because this is what appears. This right here, the ideal referral, top product, top problem solved, that information here is the TOPS profile. Fill out the TOPS profile first, save it, and get that information up onto the public so that Google's finding it. People out there that are past members, people out there that are just looking for referrals online or people to refer business to, it will be up there first. Okay, and finally, real quick, I'm going to go back to this account settings page. And this is where you control who sees what and what is shared with either everybody, nobody, or people you know. So now this first one is the member-to-member profile. Now again, going back, if I look at my profile, I can see everything, obviously. You're not going to hide anything from yourself. But this is what other people see when they look for you in BNI Connect. And you can control who sees what. That's what these first settings are, member to member, so inside BNI Connect. So the Bio tab, the My Connections tab, the My Testimonials tab, the My Picture Gallery, your email address and contact details. You have a choice. Show it to everybody. So just anybody that finds you in BNI Connect, you're sharing that information with. Personally, that's my choice. I don't want people to have to jump through hoops to contact me if they have a referral for me, they need more information from me. But if you'd like to be a little bit more private, you can set some of them, all of them, to My Connection. So only once you have accepted somebody's connection request will they see that information. Or you can share this information with nobody. So just nobody can see anything. They'll still see your basic information. They will see your name. They will see your company name, but they won't see any of the other tabs or your personal contact information. Now the second set here is for the public website. So again, that's the regional website. That's this profile here on my BNIRI.com website. And this one is, you can choose to opt out of being on that altogether if you really, really want to. You can, if you uncheck this, people will not even be able to find you with a search on your regional website. Now, the second one is allow people to email me. We will never display your email address online. It is private, hidden. We will not display it on the public website. However, there is an option for people to send you a message, a real email message that goes to your real email account. They can fill that out. The system will send you the email. There is a CAPTCHA here so that people, robots aren't sending you messages. But that will either hide or display that button. If you choose to allow people, the send message will be there. If you choose to turn that off, uncheck it, then it will not be there. And the final one is this show my contact details. And again, if I uncheck that and save it, this is going to hide probably more information than you intended to hide. So you can see it leaves my social media links, but I lose all the rest of that information. All that shows is my town. So my recommendation, again, if you're working from home, please use the strategy I showed you a few minutes ago. All right, we are at the bottom of the hour. So what I would like to do is, for those of you that do need to leave this webinar, I would like to thank everybody for their time today. Please do The full webinar, including all the questions that I'm about to start answering in a minute, will be recorded. It will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. You'll also be able to find them on our support page. So if you click on this question mark inside BNI Connect, it will take you to our support page, and if you scroll down to the bottom in the training section, you will see January's recorded webinars. There's already a couple of versions up there of the webinars that we've done so far, and this next one will be up there as well for your convenience. In that support site, you'll also see a ton of documentation on just about every function within BNI Connect, so from how to email your chapter to adding visitors into the system, anything you'd like to know. And finally, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. Join us there. We do webinar announcements and tips and tricks, and love to hear your comments, suggestions, and feedback. All right, so now to go back to everybody that is going to stay with us for a little while until all of our questions are answered, let me start going through those questions now. If you do have a question, please feel free to raise it. You can type the question into the questions control panel. So let's see. We have a hello from JVC from India, and thank you for being here this morning. It's great to have people from around the world on the call with us. Beatrice says, we have our own BNI site that looks very similar in Switzerland. And there are still some countries that are migrating their public sites, their regional websites, over to a BNI Connect site. So while all of the chapter members in almost the whole world are in the inside of BNI Connect, there are still some countries that will that are still migrating those public sites over. So it may be very similar. The difference is, and this brings you to your next question, do we need profiles on all of them? And the difference is, if your country is using a third-party site, then unfortunately no, it doesn't pull the information from BNI Connect. You'd have to update it in both places. Let's see. Brad says, my product service description area doesn't have a cell to type anything into. That is correct. So I think what you're talking about right here is your industry and classification. That is entered, and your product service description. That is entered by your regional office. It's really meant to be what is written on your application when you applied to be a member of BNI. So where you have access to control is this My Business portion down here. The industry classification and product service description is really based on what you entered on your application when you became a member of your chapter. So if that needs to be adjusted, though, please talk to your chapter director consultant, talk to your regional office, your executive director, and they can help you out with that. So hopefully that helps, Brad. Laura asks, is there a way to get a printer-friendly version of the bio? Absolutely there is. Now, the place to get a printer-friendly version, there is a report called the Member Details Report, and this is also how you would do a gains exchange with a member of your chapter before a one-to-one with them. So if I go to Reports Chapter, and this could also be on your shortcut menu on the home screen, and you'll notice down, you might have to scroll down here, but there's the Member Details Report. Now let me switch my filter here over to the United States and to my own personal chapter. And let me get to the Wakefield chapter here. Now this Member Details Report, let's say that I'd like to get a printer-friendly version of my bio, for example. I'm going to click on View Member Bio, and I'm going to find my name in the list. And click Go. And notice all of the people from your chapter will appear in that list. And here's my bio. Now I can print this out. I can export it to Excel, whichever I'd like to do there. From this report, I can actually jump right over to any of the 4 reports. So again, I can go over to the gains. I can do a gains exchange. I can print this out. I can make a PDF out of it. I can send it to the person that I'm doing a one-to-one with, or I can just look up this information before I have a one-to-one with somebody. Remember how I said it would be great to print out the commercial for a substitute. You can store a couple of commercials and use a printer-friendly version of that as well. So hopefully that answers your question there, Laura. Brad says, why doesn't it show up then? Brad, are you going back to why the my product description doesn't show up yet? So I'm assuming you mean just like mine, the product service description is empty, and that is because it was never filled out by my regional office when I became a member. I'm still a member here in the Rhode Island area, and at the time BNI Connect wasn't available. So this is a new field that was put in after I became a member. So, but again, yes, you can talk to your regional office. They can update this information, however, if you would like them to. Brad, is your screen just lagging that it's not catching up to what I'm doing? All right, so the report that I'm talking about, if you go to Reports, Chapter, is the Member Details report there. Now, if this report is not here, what that means is that your regional office has turned it off for your region. And basically, BNI Connect, each region in BNI, so various states and have the ability to turn off certain functions. So they can basically hide or display any reports within the system, or pretty much any function in the system. So if that member details report is not there, please talk to your director consultant, talk to your executive director and say, hey, how come you turned off my member details report? I'd like to do a one-to-one with some of my members and do a gains exchange. So again, talk to your regional office on that one, Brad. Sorry about that. All right. George says, unrelated question, will we be able to enter past members or visitors referral on BNI Connect shortly? And yes, you will be able to. That's actually coming up in one of the very next versions of BNI Connect. It's either going to be basically BNI Connect's release schedule, programming schedule is approximately every 2 to 3 months. We have a programming effort that we put a whole bunch of new updates and releases and enhancements. We have this planned out through March of 2015 right now. And I believe the one in March, if not the one right after that, we will have the ability to thank a past member or a visitor for a closed business, which is what I think you're referring to. Let's see. Swear says, can the commercials be seen by everybody? And again, that depends on what your settings are. So on the profile, if I go back to my profile tab here, you can choose this bio tab. You can choose to show it or hide it. And again, that goes back to your settings. But if you've chosen to show it, the bio is only visible to this particular portion is only visible to your chapter leadership team and directors. Other members and other people around the world can't see this bio section. But the rest of this, 60 seconds, gains, and tops, that as long as you have this tab visible, people will be able to see that on your profile. It is not seen, though, on the regional website. It's only on the inside of BNI Connect. Beatrice says, does BNI Connect need a login? And if not, if yes, how do I get one? If you do not have a login to BNI Connect, then please go ahead and send us a ticket here at support@bniconnect.com, or go to that support site, support.bniconnect.com, and we'll figure out either get you a login or figure out why you don't have one, and possibly get in touch with your regional office about that. Let's see, I've set up my profile completely. Now what to know, how do we generate referrals from other countries through the profile? My recommendation for that is to start making connections. So make connections with other members. The way to do that is to search for people either on the regional websites and then come back and search for them for the inside. Use this search tool to find people in BNI. Connect with them, accept their connections, start conversations. It's the same way we network with people now. Build some visibility with them, build some credibility with them, but now we have the option to find people from around the world. The other way is through the groups, and we just did a webinar on this a couple of days ago, but if you go to the groups, network groups, you can join discussion groups with people from around the world, which may open you up to connections to like-minded people. So hopefully that helps. And about testimonials, should member update testimonials themselves, and other people give testimonials to you. So your connections can give you a testimonial, and once you get that testimonial, you can choose to display it on your profile or not. And again, we have a social media webinar that we go through all of that stuff as well. Carl says, how do I get the MSP yellow ribbon to show up on my bio? So I'm assuming you're talking about this, the MSP badge that's on the page here, and that will show up automatically if you have attended a member success program and it has been registered in the system that you've done so. If you have attended a member success program and the ribbon is not showing up, you just need to call your regional office and they can put that entry into the system that you've attended. Once they do that, it will show up on the BNI Connect screen. All right, do we have any other questions? I think I've answered all of the questions that have been listed. So while anybody's thinking of any last-minute questions, again, this will be posted in a couple of places. You will see if you go to the question mark, if you're in BNI Connect, or if you're not in BNI Connect, go to support.bniconnect.com. A good referral for me, please pass these webinars on to other members of your chapter, other members in your area, if you're a director or an executive director, other people in your region. Let them know about these upcoming webinars. Scroll down to the bottom. There is a whole bunch of training material here, so any other questions that you might have, we have a lot of it documented here. And again, the recordings will be here, as well as at youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. These are all of our recorded webinars. Go up there, watch them. We have tons and tons of material up there, hours and hours of viewing. And finally, yes, our Facebook page, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. We do webinar announcements, tips and tricks, release announcements, all sorts of things. So again, thank you guys so much for being here today. My name is Jeremy Walsh. Feel free to connect with me in BNI Connect or in any other social media platform, and love to get to know you better. Build your VCP, get some more referrals, and happy connecting, everyone. Thank you.